Hey guys, went to the creek here a couple days ago. Had about an hour and a half trip to the creek and found a few interesting things. Thought I'd go over them with you, what I found. And anyway, these are going to be the pecking stones and pestles that I found. This kind of a rectangular shaped pecking stone, which are fairly common that I find. This one's a quartz and got a fair amount of oil also on it, polished a little bit, but use that to peck out other stones and tools with. And then this is getting to my kind of a icicle shaped ones that I really don't know a whole lot about. I think they may come from a different time period. That's a small one there. And a big notch taken out of the top on that one, but that one's made out of granite, pretty dense granite. It's a nice little piece. Kind of the icicle shape theme again, when that's with a bigger stone. At the top, taken off of it, fairly worn on the tip there. Just not exactly sure what they use these for. That's got a pretty good edge on it there. They may also use that to chop with there on that edge, but pretty worn right in through here. And kind of getting to some of the normal types of pestles I find. This is a big one here. It's made out of quartz also. It's got a lot of pecking marks on it. Been polished off fairly well. Some oil on it. But nice piece. Somebody put a fair amount of work to it, but that's a heavy one. That one's probably, like I said, 3 or 4 pounds. And this turtle effigy that I found, I saw that in the water, and I just wasn't sure about picking it up, but I'm kind of glad I did. On this back side here, you can see it. This is granite with a layer of quartz, thin layer of quartz, and a lot of times they'll take that layer of quartz off right here and pack that into a wing shape there, and they'll make a bird effigy out of these stones that are made out of granite and quartz with that thin layer of quartz. But you see where they've taken off the top here, and I don't know if they kind of started off maybe trying to do a bird effigy, but I think if they did, they ended up settling for a turtle effigy. But anyway, the eye up there towards the head, there's it's pecked out right there where the eye is, and but pretty sure that's what that is. Probably a box turtle effigy, and that's kind of the way they look when they have their head out of the shell, kind of looking up. I thought that pretty neat. And this is either celt or chisel. I think you could call it either one, but you see where they've notched that out or flaked it out into a wedge shape there. I believe that was handheld. Don't think it was hafted. It's kind of small to be hafted, but probably use that to do a little minor wood chiseling with. A nice little piece. Polished off all of it around here. That's why I'm thinking it was probably more of a handheld tool. And this is a type of pestle here. I think this was used to crush ochre. It's really red. And this thing was used a lot too. Dimpled out right on both sides right here and on this side here. It's got a lot of oil and ochre on it. This is kind of the rounded off end here, probably where they crushed the ochre on that end. Probably was held like this. Backside's been worked off, but I've never seen one really red like that, so I'm thinking that was something that they used for crushing ochre, but pretty neat little tool there. Really smoothed off through here. And wouldn't find a whole lot on the surface. I stuck my hand down in the sandbar, was feeling around for some rocks, and I came up with this. And it is a massive Firestone. It's a really nice one. Made out of quartz. See where all these cracks are here. It's probably from the heat, you know, from that cooling down and getting hot. But that pit is probably 3/4 of an inch, maybe almost an inch deep. But that's quite a Firestone there. And that thing could have been used over a generation or two, I would say. So that was a tool that somebody really kept close to their vest, and was around for a long time. That somebody kept for sure. This is I think an axe head, really worn on this end here. It's made out of quartz, really solid, dense piece of quartz. It's been worked and flaked and chipped off on all sides. It's been smoothed off on these flat sides pretty well. But this end was also used. It's a pretty sharp end. And I try to hold it in my hand and find out if it, you know, it could have been handheld type of tool, but it just doesn't grip well anywhere. So I think may have been hafted, but really don't see any marks where, you know, it was hafted. But anyway, it just doesn't fit well in the hand, but it could have been a handheld type tool. But used quite a bit, particularly that end there. Really heavily used. And then another Warin Axe. That's a pretty good size one there. Made out of granite. Almost didn't pick that up more. I got looking at it. It's been smoothed off, pecked off pretty well. And this one gets to my polishing stones. This is one here that's this end and that end have been really worked off here, and it's been polished all the way around the top. And then that's the grinding surface or the polishing surface here. But could have been a grinding tool, but I think more used for polishing. Fairly small, but it could have been like a palm grinder. Held like that, and then used to grind. It's got some different color rock in it. Pretty neat piece. And then I found this black stone here, and definitely this is a polishing piece there. You can really see where it's been worn all in through here. This is scratch marks and scar marks all in through there. Really smooth. It's that dense, what I call black stone, and very hard, dense material. But you can really see how that was really used right in through here. And the kind of scratch marks, scrape marks in there. I thought that was a nice piece too. So I saw it just sitting out like a sore thumb. It's the way it does with all these other rocks. It's just so different. Particularly when it's wet. And I always like to pick these black stones up because they've usually they've been worked or into some kind of tool. But anyway, that's what I've got today, and appreciate you guys tuning in. But get out in the creek whenever I can. It's just weather and cold and work, and not doing as much as I have been in the summer. But this is what I got today, and thought I'd share it with you. Appreciate it.